Attention Steelers fans. A new possibility is shaking up the NFL landscape and could completely change the offensive course of Pittsburgh. We're talking about a risky but very intriguing move. The possibility that Kyle Pitts, the talented tight end from the Falcons, could join the Steelers and reunite with his former coach Arthur Smith. Yes, that duo that broke records in 2021 could be coming back together. Stick with me because in this video I'm going to show you all the details about this potential move that's already starting to generate buzz. Before diving into this bombshell about Kyle Pitts, we have to talk about a decision that already shook things up in Pittsburgh, the trade for DK Metcalf. The Steelers surprised everyone by strengthening their receiving core with one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league. And that's not all. If they decide to keep George Pickens, we could be looking at one of the most feared duos in the AFC. But it seems that won't be enough for Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan, who might be planning to add yet another weapon to their offensive arsenal. DK Metcalf arrived in Pittsburgh as a major move to transform the team's passing game. His presence, along with the continued development of George Pickens, gives the Steelers two physical, fast receivers with great ability to gain yards after the catch. However, for many analysts, this move could be just the beginning of a deeper transformation. The arrival of Metcalf opens the door to a more aggressive offensive system, and that's where Arthur Smith's role becomes central. As the new offensive coordinator, Smith is seeking versatility and creativity, which could explain the interest in adding another dynamic player. And now I want to hear from you, Steelers fan. What do you think about the arrival of DK Metcalf? Do you believe he's the kind of receiver who can transform this offense? And what's your take on keeping George Pickens on the team alongside him? Many believe that with those two players on the field, Pittsburgh would have one of the strongest aerial attacks in the AFC. But others think there's still a key piece missing. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. I always read what you guys think. Alright, now get ready, because what's coming next could completely change the course of the Steelers this season. A recent report has sent shockwaves across the league, and if it becomes a reality, Pittsburgh would not only have one of the best receiver duos, but also one of the most versatile weapons in the entire NFL. And it all revolves around a name you already know very well. Let's go straight to the big news that could reunite Arthur Smith with a familiar face in a masterstroke by the team. According to Pro Football Network, the Pittsburgh Steelers could be interested in a potential move to acquire Kyle Pitts, the talented tight end from the Atlanta Falcons. This rumor isn't coming out of nowhere. Arthur Smith, now the Steelers' offensive coordinator, was the one who drafted Pitts when he was the head coach of the Falcons in 2021. In his rookie year, Pitts exploded with over 1,000 yards and 68 receptions. Although his production has declined in recent seasons, many analysts believe his talent is still intact. His arrival in Pittsburgh could make him the surprise weapon of this rebuilding offense. If Pittsburgh pulls off this move for Kyle Pitts, the impact would be massive on several levels. First, Arthur Smith would be reuniting with a player he knows inside and out and knows how to utilize. Plus, the offensive trio of DK Metcalf, George Pickens, and Kyle Pitts would give the Steelers a level of versatility that would be hard to defend. Pitts brings a unique mix of speed, catch radius, and the ability to line up both on the line and in the slot, which would pose major problems for opposing defenses. But there would also be locker room consequences, especially for tight ends like Pat Freiermuth or Darnell Washington, whose roles could be reduced. And now I want to hear from you, Steelers Nation. Do you think the Steelers should go all in on Kyle Pitts? Is the risk worth it considering his recent injury history and underperformance? Or do you believe the team already has enough weapons with Metcalf and Pickens? Would you like to see Arthur Smith working again with the player he once chose in the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This could be a move that splits the fanbase. Your voice is key in this conversation. And that wraps up this analysis of a potential blockbuster move for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Kyle Pitts arrives, the offense could take on a whole new look. But while we wait for a final decision, we'll be keeping a close eye on every move the team makes. So you already know, if you enjoyed this content, leave a like, comment what you think about this possible signing, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss any Steelers news. See you in the next video with more hot NFL updates. Today we have big news shaking up the Pittsburgh Steelers fanbase. They've signed the imposing tight end Donald Parham. After several years with the Los Angeles Chargers, Parham has decided to start a new chapter of his career in Pittsburgh, and in this video, we'll tell you everything you need to know about his arrival. Why did he choose Pittsburgh? What does his signing mean for the Steelers' future? Stay with us to find out. Before diving into Parham's reasons for choosing the Steelers, it's important to remember that Pittsburgh is still in a rebuilding phase after a couple of years without playoff progress. Despite a recent drought in postseason victories, the Steelers remain one of the most historic and prestigious teams in the NFL, and Parham's arrival could be the first step toward a new chapter full of success. The key to attracting players like Donald Parham to the Steelers lies in their solid structure. Mike Tomlin, the experienced head coach, and Alfredo Roberts, the tight ends coach, are key figures who help attract quality talent. Pittsburgh's reputation as an organization that fosters player development and maximizes potential has not been affected by recent struggles, and that plays a major role in players' decisions to join the franchise. Although the Steelers' offense has had ups and downs, Parham's arrival could make the difference. Donald Parham is a 6 feet 8 inches and 235-pound giant on the field, whose presence is a real challenge for opposing defenses. Over the course of his career, Parham has been recognized for his exceptional blocking ability and his threat in the red zone. With his large wingspan, Parham can create physical advantages over defenders, and his speed and agility make him a dangerous piece near the goal line. However, as many know, injuries have been a recurring obstacle in Parham's career. Despite this challenge, his performance remains impressive. His standout season so far was in 2023 with the Los Angeles Chargers, where he recorded 27 receptions for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns, demonstrating that when in top form, Parham can be a key player for any team. Despite his physical issues, his ability to contribute immediately remains intact, and the Steelers are confident he can stay healthy and be a cornerstone for their new franchise. In addition to being a prolific tight end, Parham also has a lot to offer in special teams. This factor makes him a valuable reinforcement, as he not only contributes to the offense but also on team plays that often make a difference in tight games. Parham's ability to adapt to different roles within the team is a crucial advantage for the Steelers, and it could be a game-changer in improving the overall efficiency of special teams. With Parham's arrival, competition for the tight end position intensifies. Currently, the Steelers already have quality players like Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, and Connor Hayward. Each of these players has their own style and skill set, but Parham arrives with the mentality of bringing a unique touch to the group, positioning himself as a key piece in the offense. Freiermuth, who has proven to be a solid player in the position, will now have a direct competitor who may challenge him to improve his performance to keep his starting spot. On the other hand, Darnell Washington, a tight end with a physique similar to Parham's, could greatly benefit from this competition to further develop his potential. The challenge of keeping his place on the roster and proving he's an indispensable player could motivate each of these players to elevate their level of play. This is not only positive for the players involved but also for the team overall, as it fosters a healthy competition environment and raises collective expectations. Parham's arrival in Pittsburgh not only strengthens the tight end position but could also have a significant impact on the Steelers' offensive scheme. With his size and blocking abilities, Parham can help improve the offensive line and open up more options in the passing game, which could benefit both quarterback Kenny Pickett and the wide receivers. Parham's versatility will allow coaches to experiment with different formations and strategies depending on the game's needs. By adding Parham to the equation, Pittsburgh could opt for a more diverse offensive scheme, combining his red zone potential with an improvement in the running game. Additionally, his presence on the line of scrimmage could help the team better utilize blocking in both passing and running situations. This flexibility is crucial for the Steelers, who are looking for a more dynamic offense to compete at the highest level. Parham isn't just looking for a place in the Steelers' tight end rotation, but is also willing to take on a starring role if given the opportunity. Despite his ups and downs due to injuries, his ability to make an immediate impact is undeniable. If he stays healthy, Parham could become an essential player for Pittsburgh, offering an additional threat in the red zone and the passing game. The team has high expectations for his contribution both on offense and special teams. However, nothing is guaranteed. Parham will need to prove his worth on the field and compete with other quality players to earn a prominent role. While his size and skills make him a player who can make a difference, his injury history may raise doubts about his ability to stay on the field consistently. The upcoming training camps and preseason games will be crucial for the Steelers to determine how to best utilize Parham's talent and what role he'll play in the team's offense. Now that we've covered the details about Donald Parham's arrival to the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's time to hear your thoughts. Do you think Parham can become a key piece for the Steelers' offense, or do you think injuries could affect his performance? How do you see the competition at tight end with Parham's arrival? Leave us your comments below, and share your thoughts on this signing. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you won't miss any of our updates. We'll be covering all the most important news about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the rest of the NFL. See you in the next video with more interesting information. Until next time.